Hello everyone, this is Teacher Wendy. Today, we're going to be talking about self-injurious behavior. One of the most common questions na tinatanong ng mga parents since I have started posting my videos online about autism, they are asking about their kids who's hitting themselves. They're asking kung ano ba ito, why their kids are hurting themselves. So in this video, we're gonna be talking about self-injurious behavior and its possible causes. Ano yung mga pwede nating gawin when it happens? And what are some ways that we could do to prevent it from happening? Well, self-injurious behavior is when a person physically harms himself. It is sometimes called self-harm. So this might be head banging on floors or walls, hand or arm biting, hair pulling, face or head slapping. Pwede din, no, yung skin picking or scratching or pinching. We have a case nga na yung kamay niya is kinakagat niya. No? So these are just some of the examples of self-injurious behavior. About half of the individuals with autism will engage in self-injurious behavior at some point of their lives, and it affects people of all ages, no? So walang pinipiling edad ito. Actually, self-injurious behavior doesn't only happen to kids with autism, no? It could also be possible for kids with other developmental delays, no, like yung intellectual disabilities or ADHDs. The most common ones is itong children with autism. They get to do self-injurious behavior as their means of communication. Now, there might be a number of factors why a child would engage in self-injurious behaviors. Well, unang reason is it could be just to get attention, no? So, sinasaktan niya yung sarili niya because he wants to get an attention from somebody. No? Another reason could be an escape from something that he or she doesn't want to do. Like, may pinapagawa sa kanya and ayaw niya. So, his way of communicating na ayaw niyang gawin yung isang bagay na yun is by hurting himself, no? Like, ayaw niyang maligo. Example, ayaw niyang maligo that time. So, para to tell you na ayaw kong maligo is sasaktan ko yung sarili ko, no? Or, kung, example, naiirita siya sa pinapagawa mo, or ayaw niya yung mga pinapagawa sa kanya, that's the time that he or she might be biting himself. That's his way of trying to communicate to you na ayaw ko. Give me a break, ayaw kong gawin ito. Another reason could be that it's his access to some kind of preferred items or activities. Like, for example, sasaktan ko yung sarili ko, and every time pag sinasaktan ko yung sarili ko, I know, nabibigyan ako ni mami or ni lola ng gusto ko. No, like, para mabigay sa akin yung gusto kong laruan, example. So, to communicate that I want that something, that toy, I'm gonna hurt myself. And every time I do that, yun yung nangyayari. No? So, it's his way to get what he wants. Access to some kind of preferred tangible items or activities. Last one naman is itong automatic reinforcement, or ibig sabihin, itong whenever the child hits himself or bites himself, he feels some sensation that is satisfying for him, no? Gusto niya yung feeling na ganon. So it's an automatic. So ito yung tandaan natin, yung apat na possible na pwedeng causes ng self-injurious behavior. Yung attention, para makuha niya yung attention ng taong gusto niya. Pangalawa is, it could be an escape from something that he or she doesn't want to do. Pangatlo, it could be an access to some kind of preferred tangible or tangible items for activities. And pang-apat is itong automatic reinforcement. It is important for us to know kung bakit ginagawa ng isang bata yung saktan ang sarili niya, like headbanging or biting himself or pinching, no? Mahalaga na malaman natin kung ano yung causes, what are the causes, no, para maintindihan natin sila and for us to choose the right treatment na kailangan ng isang bata, no? Kasi the treatment that you choose should be based on the causes, should be based on the reasons why that child is doing self-injurious behavior. For parents, it is important for you to be really observant about your child. If, as much as possible, you take down the times or the incidents when your child does self-injurious behavior, yung sinasaktan niya yung sarili niya. So that when you speak to your doctor or mga therapists or even sa mga teachers, you have to be specific as much as possible kung kailan ito nangyari, bakit ito nangyari. Kasi from there, your therapist would be able to assess and come up with some interventions na pwedeng gawin para sa anak ninyo. Kasi iba-iba yung reasons kung bakit nagsi-self-injure yung bata, kung bakit niya nagsi-self-harm yung bata, no? Bakit niya sinasaktan yung sarili niya. Iba-iba ang reasons and iba-iba din yung paraan para matulungan yung anak ninyo. So, here are some pointers that you could do when the behavior is happening. Respond quickly. No, even if you think na the child is just trying to get your attention, it's not right to tolerate naman nun na sinasaktan ng bata yung sarili niya. So, as much as possible, you respond quickly to your child when he or she harms himself. Remove demands. No, so if the child is trying to escape because he or she doesn't want to do the things that you want him to do, then maybe you can try to reduce, no, or just go back to the activity after na makalma na yung bata. So be flexible lang din, no. Huwag mong ipilit yung activity na gusto mong ipagawa sa bata. Pag sinasaktan niya yung sarili niya, ibig sabihin noon ayaw niya or wala siya sa kondisyon para gawin yung ipinapagawa mo. Next one, provide relief for physical or sensory discomfort. I have made a video about this, no, yung autism meltdown, kung ano ito, and one of the reasons that a child is having meltdown is because of some sensory overload. So it could also happen, no, na sinasaktan ng bata yung sarili niya, like the child is biting himself or banging his head because of some sensory discomfort, or na-overload na din siya, like masyadong maingay siguro sa labas, or nasa lugar kayo na crowded. So it could be the reason kung bakit sinasaktan ng bata yung sarili niya as his way of communicating to you na ayaw niya yung senses na nasasagap niya. It could be something that he smells, no, or something that he hears, or something that he sees. And kung ayaw niya if he's having discomfort, na stress siya sa lugar na yon, then what you can do is to take that child away from that place, or kung pwede naman tanggalin yung mga sensory inputs, no, like kung maingay, maybe you try to turn off kung music ba yon or what, no, or maybe provide some noise cancelling earphones or earplugs to lessen the noise that your child could be hearing, no. So you try to understand kung ano yung nangyayari sa anak niyo, and from there you can come up with some solutions kung paano siya matutulungan. Another thing that you can do is to redirect your child. Tell your child what to do instead of hurting himself. Like example, Liam, hands down. No, you try to tell the child what he is supposed to do and redirect him to something that he can do. Like instead of banging or slapping his face, no, you can hold his hands and help him to clap his hands, no, as hard as he can kung gusto niya. You can help him to clap his hands, no, or maybe you can redirect him to something that he prefers, like hold on to something that he can squeeze, no, para instead of hurting or pinching himself or slapping his face, you try to redirect yung hands niya sa something na pwede niyang gawin, no, like banging. So how to prevent self-injurious behavior? Use daily routine and schedules. I have made a video about this, about using routines and schedules to lessen anxiety, and maybe you want to check that out, know that video for more detailed talk about this. You have to provide a clear schedule, no, or a routine para kung ano yung gagawin niya for that day, as it would lessen your child's anxiety and it will give him a clearer picture of what's gonna happen for the day. You provide them a structure, the schedules, the routines that they are supposed to do, the activities that they are supposed to do for that day, para matulungan mo sila na ma-lessen, ma-reduce yung anxieties nila. And if alam nila yung gagawin nila, no, it would lessen also the opportunities for the child to engage in self-injurious behavior. Next one, provide sensory alternatives. Maybe you want to provide a trampoline or a swing for your child to use kasi it gives the same sensation, no, kung ang bata is ginagawa niya yung self-injurious behavior niya is because of some sensations that he likes, the sensation that your child wants, kung bakit niya sinasaktan yung sarili niya. Then you can redirect the child to something na pwede niyang gawin instead of injuring himself. If you find this video helpful, please do subscribe, and if you want to comment and post some questions also, or the things that you want me to discuss in some other time, please do so, or comment on my YouTube channel. And thank you so much for tuning in. May God bless you all.